got to be one of the most unique airplanes that I've ever seen. What's it called?
It's called the Sierra, SEA-ERA.
Now, this is a one-off design, then I take it?
It's a one-off design. It's the only one like it in the world. It's a combination wing.
What do you mean
design.
combination wing?
Well, the lifting body, which is the center part.
That's the center section down by the fuselage there.
Right. That's the lifting body, and it develops half the lift. The outer wing panels that plug into it develop the other half. And the lifting body part is a low aspect ratio and delta shape, so it develops maximum lift at about 25 to 30 degrees angle of attack, while the outer wing panels would be stalled if they weren't able to pitch them down, which we do. We pitch them down for low speed about 10 degrees relative to the lifting body, so that the outer wing panels are at 15 degrees when the lifting body is at 25. So,
now, someone told me that this is actually developed from an RC model.
That's correct. And yeah.
Now,
But
how, I mean, you're sitting there flying an RC model, and then all of a sudden you decide, oh, hey, well, I'm just going to blow this up a little and see whether it'll fly.
that's what happened. I liked the model, and it worked for me, so I decided to build a full size.
So you're sitting there with an RC model, and you want to step up into this. What does somebody do to do that?
Well, you get the books out, and you study, and you figure out what the air is doing around flying surfaces, and all of the various things you have to do to make an airplane fly and be comfortable flying and balanced and controllable and all that sort of thing, and it's quite an education.
Now, do you just blow something up? Like, do you take it and scale it from the RC model up to what you've got now?
They have scaling formulas that you can use to scale up or scale down. And I designed the plane as a full size, and then scaled down for quarter scale model, RC models. And then I would fly the models and weight them and balance them and everything according to the scaling schedules, and fly it. And if I liked the way it flew, then I was comfortable that the full size would be comfortable flying.
Now, would you be using the same style of materials in the RC models as what you're using in the flying machine?
I did. I used the same materials. I used fiberglass. I used foam, urethane foam. I used balsa wood on the models rather than the foam on the full size. And I used light plywood, which is a poplar plywood made in Italy that works real nice for building models, and also worked good for building the full size. I covered the stuff with fiberglass so it would be strong, and making the bulkheads and the so forth. Ribs and things.
The original RC model, and I take it was also not an amphibian but a float plane?
Yes.
So you actually had to design something that would float and had because you're designing a boat here as well, because this has
Right.
the plane on the water. It has to get up on the step before it can actually take off.
Right. I many years ago I was into race boats, and did design in race boats, so I was familiar with water and boats and race boats on water and hydroplanes and that sort of thing. So I combined that knowledge with what I learned about aircraft and so forth. Having loved aircraft starting as a kid, building models, combined it all together, and this is the result. And
now, this airplane, does it have floats on the end of the wings, or how does it handle in the water?
Those are tip skis.
Tip skis.
On the ends of the wings. The main flotation is the hull, the lifting body part, The tip skis keep the wingtips from getting into the water. When they get into the water, they get a lot of drag, create drag, and they want to suck down into the water. So the tip skis keep the tips wings out of the water.
What type of control systems are you using in it then? That's a standard stick and rudder style of control?
It's a stick and rudder, right? Standard. The only thing different on the controls is the wings pitch relative to the lifting body. Like I say, they pitch down on the leading edge, 10 degrees for landing, and the flaps automatically deploy when the wings pitch down. So there's one lever for changing the wing pitch and the flaps, and you set that for takeoff, landing, cruise, whatever you want. There's 4 positions.
Now, how long does it actually take the airplane then to get off the water?
It depends on the weather. If you've got a headwind, if it's
say in ideal conditions, we got a little bit of chop, a little bit of headwind.
We rotate at 60 miles per hour, and to get up to that, it takes anywhere from 12 to 15 seconds.
So you're on the water, what, about 500-600 feet then?
I would say more like 1,000 feet, maybe.
Yeah. And what type of climb rate would we have once we've left the water?
I would say the climb rate is around 1,000 feet per minute, 800 to 1,000.
And we're back down to cruise then? What are we cruising around at?
We cruise at anywhere from 100 to 110. And
so this little bird gets from point A to point B pretty quick.
That it does. It's a real hoot to fly. Just last Friday, in fact, I was flying it. Grant and I flew it. I flew it out over Puget Sound. It was a gorgeous day, and it was calm, and it was warm, and I stayed at 30 to 50 feet off the water, and cruising at 100 miles an hour, burning about 3.6 gallons per hour, and going by the fishing boats and that sort of thing along the water, and cruising along the shore of Whidbey Island, and it was just really the funnest flight I think I've had so far.
And what are we powering the airplane with?
Jabiru 2200.
That's a little 4-cylinder direct drive, 85 horsepower.
85 horsepower, correct. And it's a sweet little engine, does the job.
And what kind of fuel capacity do you have on board?
16 gallons.
And it uses, what, about 4 gallons an hour, just over 4 gallons an hour?
No, it uses about 3.5 to 3.6.
Oh.
And of course it uses more when you're climbing out, but then it goes down to less than 1 when you're coming in.
So you've got 3-4 hour range on it without any problem at all then?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, are you looking at bringing this out in a kit, or?
Not this one. No. This is it's a single place. Single place kits don't sell, and I'm too old to be getting into the business. I would not do it. I love designing things, and so I've been doodling with and building models of a high wing version that would be a 2-place. So,
now, you just mentioned that you're getting a little older. How long did it take you to build this airplane?
it took me about 17 years altogether, from
17
models
years.
and design and changes and starts and stops and so forth.
And how old are you now?
85.
You still think you got 1 or 2 left in you?
I don't know. That's up to the good Lord. You know, He's kept me around this long, and I'm still able to do things like this. So I just thank the good Lord but I'm still ticking.
Thank you very much for your time. Is there some place if somebody wanted to get some more information on this airplane? Is there some place they can go? You got any website or any information?
No, I'm not on the web. And now Grant Smith, like I say, who has helped me a lot with the flying of the plane and testing and so forth. He's going to have a website. For it.
Grant will be around here a little later.
He'll be around here a little later.
I'll drop in and see him because I got some video of him flying the airplane a little earlier. So.
Yeah, he flew up from Lake Sammamish and did some passes, and then he flew over to Lake Goodwin, landed, and I picked it up there.
Loaded around the trailer, and here we are.
Brought it over here. Right.
Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
You're sure welcome.